what you just said, and it brought it into my conscious awareness. And so now most of my negative self-talk just goes on in my head. I don't vocalize it, which is a little bit better, but not good enough. We need to continue to work on getting rid of that negative self-talk and being our own best friend and cheerleader. I know that consciously, but there's still subconscious programs that I'm working to eliminate. So let's talk about criticism, and let's talk about judgment. I'm coming from the standpoint that both are bad, especially if we're criticizing ourselves and other people. That's bad because we're putting negative energy into the world. If we're judging ourselves and other people, well, chances are we're wrong, right? Because we always judge ourselves and other people too harshly. And we judge ourselves and other people based on the filter of our beliefs, our thoughts, our feelings, our past experiences. And although they may have been good filters when we were younger, they're probably not appropriate or the same filters that we should use today. So let's talk about 10 different ways to deal with criticism. Because guess what? No matter what you do, no matter how much you improve every day, no matter how awesome a person you are, we're going to have people that can't stand us, people that hate us, people that criticize us. So what are we going to do when people criticize us? Number one, we're going to listen to what the person criticizing us has to say, even if it's ourselves. Number two, we're going to ask more questions about the criticism. Now, if we criticize ourselves, I'm going to give a perfect example here. I criticize myself every single day when I make a video. The first thought that pops into my head whenever I push stop or finish when I'm making a video is, oh my God, that was awful. Now, why is that the first thing that pops into my head? Because I didn't say everything perfectly the way I planned on saying it when I started recording. Okay, really? How often does that happen? It happens every day, every time to everybody. So should I be reinforcing that was awful, or should I be saying, all right, I forgot to say this and this, but it was still okay, or it was still good, or whatever. So ask more questions about criticism. Was it really awful? Was it really terrible? Some days, yes. Other days, most days, no. So number three, understand if the criticism is valid. And I guess I snuck into number three. Is it valid criticism? Is it true that every single one of my videos, every day, absolutely sucks? No, that's not true. Some suck more than others. Number four, don't be defensive yet. So don't defend and automatically push against the information or feedback that's coming in. Because guess what? There might be some valid points to it. Number five, state facts. If you're interacting with another human being, state what you're hearing, state the facts. Then six, let the other person know what are you feeling based on the criticism and the information that they just gave to you. If they say you're fat and ugly, I don't know, I'd say, hey, thanks, that's your opinion, right? Because we know it's not true. Number seven, take time off. Sometimes we need to just walk away or go take some deep breaths and think about the interaction and the interchange. Number eight, turn criticism into requests. Requests for more information. Well, what makes you think that? What makes you feel that way? Why are you criticizing me for the way I boil water, etc.? Number nine, learn to be accountable. Take accountability and responsibility, I say this a lot, for your own personal actions, behaviors, beliefs, thoughts, feelings, things we say and do. We have to be 100% accountable and responsible for those things all the time. Even if we're super upset, even if we're stuck in traffic, even if we've had a terrible day at work, we don't come home and take it out on the family. And number 10, raise your issues and questions and concerns about the situation as well. Hey, you're telling me I'm fat and ugly. I'm working on that. I exercise every day. I eat right. What do you want? What do you expect? Or here's one. If you criticize someone for being something that they have no control over, if you criticize someone for being short, well, really, there's not a whole lot I can do about that. This is how tall I am. This is, the genetic pool I was served. If you think I'm too short, get over it, because I can't change that. Or I don't choose to change it. I can wear 4-inch heels, not at my age now because I'll break my neck, but back in the day I did wear 4-inch heels. So 10 ways to deal with criticism. So listen, ask questions, understand if it's valid or not, because every time somebody criticizes us, it's not even necessarily about us, right? Every time people judge us or assume something, it isn't necessarily about us. A lot of the times, if you step back and look and listen and realize, they're really just talking about themselves. If they're saying something about you, a lot of times you have to say, okay, well, is this really about me, or is it really about something in them that they are insecure or unhappy with? A lot of the times when people are saying that you're stupid or you don't understand something, it's really that they don't understand it. All right, what are 10 ways to be less judgmental? And I'll fly through these quickly since I've been rambling so much. Number 1, ask yourself why you felt the need to judge. Number 2, notice what triggers your judgment thoughts. Number 3, stop and consider the reason for someone's behavior. Number 4, if you're judging yourself, use a breath-centric affirmation to calm your inner critic. That's a good one. Number 5, write down your judgmental thoughts, then reframe them. That's a really good step. Number 6, take a whiff of an essential oil. I wouldn't have that on my list, but okay. Apparently, there's different essential oils that will help you be less judgmental. I don't know. Number 7, try the 5 senses mindfulness technique, meaning tap into all your senses and see what's going on with you. And also, tap into your body and see what's going on with you that makes you feel the need to judge something or someone outside of you. Number 8, offer yourself some compassion for the way you feel. Don't feel guilty for judging others. I mean, why do you feel the need to judge others? Tap into that and figure that out. But show yourself some compassion, because even though I've been working on it for over a decade, I still find myself judging and being judgmental of other things. We are automatically judging and questioning things. And guess what? Questioning and judging are not the same thing. If I ask a question to clarify, I'm not judging it. I'm trying to understand it, right? And that's an important step in communication and understanding one another's expectations. Number 9, push yourself to interact more with new people, new places, and new ideas. Expand your comfort zone and your horizons so that you're more accepting of things that are different. Because guess what? All of us are different. And number 10, remember that everybody is doing their best. Everybody isn't out trying to be bad people. Everybody is out trying to do the best they can, given the situation and the circumstances they've gotten now. Lately it feels like, and I think it's a lot of the media pushing this on us, that people are all angry and at odds and frustrated with one another. And it's absolutely not true. People are just people. We just have been through a couple years of crazy, ridiculous restrictions that took away our personal freedoms and make us feel weary and tired and frustrated that we went through all the junk that we've gone through. That happens a lot when we have a trauma. And I think that a lot of us have been traumatized by the COVID pandemic and all the nonsense that's gone on. So, what's our activity today? It'd be really fun, on a scale of 1 to 10, how judgmental are you right now? Think about that. You can share in the comments if you want. I would say I'm still like a 7 or an 8 when it comes to being 10. Okay, let's do that the other way. I'd say a 2 or a 3. 1 being not judgmental at all, 10 being super duper judgmental. I used to be a 9 or a 10. I pretty much judge everything and everybody and all the things, but mostly that was because I was so hard on myself, so self-deprecating, so bad to myself, so full of self-loathing and nonsense. So there's something called the dual method that I learned about yesterday, but I'm not going to cover it today because I've already talked way too long about criticism and judgment. So I'm going to tally on a post-it note how many times I'm judgmental or criticizing of myself or others, and see, I pretty much think even today I can still fill up a post-it note, which is kind of sad, but I'm continually improving, right? I'm using my SOAP framework. What's my current situation? What do I want it to be? Moving a little bit every day, and now I learned a whole bunch of options to deal with feedback and criticism and not be so judgmental and critical. I would say, my biggest secret for dealing with people that I find difficult or challenging to deal with, that I want to judge, is to focus on the positive, focus on the positive aspects, focus on their strengths, focus on the things I like about them. All right, have an awesome day. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow. Work on that lifeline.